Good morning, students and staff at Aldersley High School. I hope that you are having a good Monday, and I hope that you had a really good weekend as well and did lots of lovely things that you enjoy. So, first of all then, obviously just like last week, you need to make sure that you are following your timetable as normal. So you should be pretty used to that by now, but obviously if you're having any troubles at all, then let us know and keep tweeting us that incredible work that you are doing. I am absolutely loving every morning looking at your different ASLs posts with all the different tweets that teachers have been posting about the great work that you've been doing. It is absolutely wonderful, so keep that up. So Miss Bangal on Friday gave you some challenges then. I'm really interested to see who's been getting up to some of these challenges, who has set up their Unifrog account and been prepared. I'd love to see who's been active this weekend in particular. What have you been doing? Have you been following the Joe Wicks videos, or have you been doing something else? And also, who has produced a fantastic mood board of your future aspirations? That will be really, really interested and will hopefully get your mind focused on exactly what it is that you want to do in the future. Today's challenges then are going to be linking to the assembly today, because today's assembly is all about who inspires you. So today's challenge is to tweet Aldersley High School explaining who inspires you and using that hashtag, please, hashtag who inspires you. I'd be really interested for some people to tweet us an idea about how you can be an inspiration during uncertain times. What is it that you could do or that we could do to be an inspiration from our own homes? So hashtag be an inspiration. And then finally, you'll all know that I love to hear what you are reading. So tweet us a short book review of your all-time favourite book. Hashtag inspire more reading. I did put a tweet out last week all about how book sales have surged since people have gone into isolation. So that means lots and lots of people across the country are reading. We really, really want your recommendations. So tell us today, please, what is it we should be reading? Should we be reading your favourite book? And then finally, it's still March almost, so it's the 30th of March today. As part of Mindful March, can you mentally scan down your body and notice what it is feeling today? So take a little bit of time just to really, really think about your feelings, your physical feelings and your emotional feelings as well. And then finally, if you obviously need any more support, you know how to email. So make sure that you are getting in touch and that you are still speaking to us. We are here for you to support you if you need us. So today's assembly is all about who inspires you. And I want you to ask yourself the question, please, who inspires you? I want you to think about what attributes you value in a person and in yourself. I'd like you to think about what motivates you. I'd like you to think about your aspirations for the future, just like Miss Bangal spoke about on Friday. I want you to consider the people who have moulded you and encouraged you and shown you what you are capable of. Hopefully your mind hasn't jumped straight to celebrities just for their fame, but instead you've really thought about their actions and qualities as a person and whether they are a good source of inspiration. When you're really thinking about who might inspire you, you might think of Gandhi. So Gandhi was an inspirational figure who employed a non-violent campaign to successfully free India from British rule. Despite his own imprisonment and resistance from others, he resiliently continued his fight for a better world. He led other campaigns to ease poverty and support women's rights. No doubt you will be familiar with Malala. As a young girl in Pakistan, She was not allowed an education, yet she spoke publicly in resistance of this. In 2012, just as a young girl, she was shot by the Taliban for having a voice. But following recovery, she continues to be an advocate for women's rights, and particularly for girls' education across the world. And quite interestingly, she lives quite close, just in Birmingham. You might know authors. For instance, this is J.K. Rowling, the famous author of Harry Potter. Her first novel was published when she was 32, but before this, she had suffered terribly from domestic abuse, and she had struggled as an unemployed single mother on benefits. She was rejected dozens of times by different publishing companies, but she persevered and eventually became a billionaire. She was actually the first author to receive the billionaire status, but interestingly, she lost her billionaire status soon after, as she donated so much money to charity. What an inspiration. So many more. There are lots of celebrities out there giving money to charity, giving a voice to those who need it, perhaps supporting the more vulnerable in our society. But the truth is, we need to stop looking outwardly for our inspiration and for our heroes. Now, I'm not sure if you'll know it, but favourite songs of all time is the song Heroes by David Bowie. And there's a line in that song that says, "We can be heroes." And that should really resonate with all of us, because it really is so true. We don't need fame or money or to do really, really big deeds in order to be an inspiration to someone. Now, every day when I come to work, I know that I try to be an inspiration to you. I try to show you that hard work really does pay off. I try to show you that we can be resilient and we can overcome obstacles. I try to show you that we have the potential to succeed. And I try to show you that we should be creative, imaginative, original, and that we should embrace what makes us different and what makes us interesting. And importantly, I find inspiration too from everybody at Aldersley High School. I find inspiration in the teachers who work tirelessly to give you the best opportunities in life, even under circumstances such as this. I find inspiration in your head of years who work relentlessly hard to ensure that you feel safe and you feel happy. And I find real inspiration in your parents and carers who do everything that they can to support you. But most of all, I really do find inspiration in you. Every day since I have worked at Aldersley High School, I have had the absolute pleasure of being around students who are polite and respectful, who say good morning and pick up litter when it's not even theirs. And those students have inspired me to be nicer. I've met students who work incredibly hard to achieve their goals, and they inspire me to keep being ambitious and to keep reaching higher and higher. I've met students who are completely resilient in their efforts to reach their target grades, despite knockbacks that they might endure. And they inspire me to pick myself up and dust myself off when I haven't done my best one day. And also, there are those students who come to school every day or do their work online every day and attend all of their sessions and do everything that's asked of them, even when life has not been easy for them, and they inspire me to do the same. So many of your faces come to mind when I ask myself that question, who inspires me? Now, you might be looking in the mirror right now or thinking, that can't be me that she's talking about because I'm not perfect. But honestly, who is? When initially planning this assembly and trying to think of celebrities who might be considered really good role models and sources of inspiration, it really was extremely difficult. And it was so difficult because most human beings who have done great things have also done some not so great things. And unfortunately, that is just what makes us human. I know myself that I really have done lots of things that I am incredibly proud of, but I know that I've also done things that I'm not so proud of. And yet, surely this doesn't mean that I can't be a source of inspiration for you, and therefore it means the same for you too. I've already mentioned David Bowie once, and one reason that he keeps coming to my mind whilst planning this assembly is that he has been such a source of inspiration for me, for many, many different reasons, but he definitely wasn't perfect. But David Bowie also serves as a fantastic metaphor for today's assemblies, because he had many different characters throughout his career as a musician. As you can see from this image now, he liked to dress up and adopt different personas, and he even named them. And that idea of having different personas and having different sides of ourselves, isn't this true of all of us? We all have different sides to us. We are multifaceted beings. But what we need to focus on now is making ourselves proud of these personas, striving to be an inspiration to ourselves and, of course, to others. And if we make a mistake, we must remember that this does not make us a bad person, as we are not defined by one part of ourselves. We can redeem ourselves. We can put our best foot forward again, and we can still be an inspiration to others in the way that we turn ourselves around. So now, think about what you can do to be an inspiration. In these times of uncertainty, how can you be kind? How can you be reassuring to others that might need it? How can you be charitable and generous? How can you be really helpful to those who might need it? Think really carefully about your siblings, your parents, your carers, your close family members such as grandparents perhaps, or aunties or uncles or cousins. Think about your friends from school. Think about your neighbours. Think about your teachers. What can you do right now to support them? And when we are back in school, what can you do then? Remember that me, other staff at Aldersley and students will all be looking to each other for inspiration. How can you be an inspiration to others? So, next time I ask the students of Aldersley who inspires them, how many people will name you? Thank you so much for listening to this assembly today. As I said at the beginning, I really do hope you are well, and I hope you are working really, really hard, and I hope you know that we are all here to support you. Thank you so much.